underestimate Denmark at your peril. Sorry to be so serious at the start of it. I think let's turn it around, okay? Let's turn it into a big question, shall we? You know, can Denmark bring their recent form to the world stage? Because if you haven't seen it recently, they're pretty good, okay? And that's what we're going to dive into in this preview, because Denmark are a scary team. They will cause problems for their opponents from minute 1 to minute 90, probably a few more because you've got to add on substitutions and that. So what we're saying, like 97 minutes, every single minute, okay, of this World Cup. Their recent form is excellent, and in this video we're going to take a look at why they might just be dark horses for the World Cup. And when I say that, I don't say it lightly, because the last time on this channel we said a country was a dark horse for a tournament. Their name was Italy, and they went on and won it. Yeah. If you're enjoying these previews and you enjoy this one, there's loads more on the channel right now on all the runners and riders for the World Cup. Make sure you check it out, and make sure you subscribe to the bloody channel. This is the place when it comes to the World Cup. I will be in Qatar, and I will be going to a lot of games, and we can have some fun, is what I'm trying to say. So hit the button, because we're marching. We're marching to Qatar, and we're marching 250k. I'm waffling now. So what do you expect from Denmark? Denmark have an attacking style which sees them continuously mount attacking moves with their key players at the heart of their tactics. They're also very solid in defence. This could have been a potential worry for them because they recently switched from a back 5 to a back 4, and the back 5 served them really well in the Euros. But the back 4 enables coach Kasper Hjulmand to play the attacking football he prefers, and this hasn't affected their defence though, with the Danes only conceding 3 goals throughout qualifying. They were almost perfect in qualifying, to be honest, with only 1 loss in their 10 matches. That loss came to the mighty Scotland, and it actually happened after they had qualified for the tournament. Denmark are a very well balanced side with different skill sets all over the pitch, and this allows them to be as attacking or reserved as they feel they need to be in any situation. This makes them really difficult to play against regardless of the opponent. Let's talk formation, system and tactical approach. Denmark look likely to play a 4-3-3 rather than the 5-3-2 we became familiar with last year. This comes with the emergence of Christensen being a solid fullback, but it also allows them to have Skov Olsen, another name to keep an eye out on in this tournament, allows him to play higher up the pitch and for him to be a direct runner when in possession. One thing that has not changed, though, is the use of a midfield 3, and this is arguably one of the most balanced midfields in the competition. Let me know if you disagree in the comments down below, because you've got Eriksen as that creator that links the attack brilliantly. You've got Delaney, who's that disciplined holding midfielder that has that natural defensive eye, and he's a great protector of a back 4. And then you've got Højbjerg, who can drop deep to create that double pivot with Delaney, but is also adept in the final third. We saw this in the Euros with the Spurs midfielder taking up higher positions and being a threat outside the box on several occasions. Don't disregard the 5 at the back though just yet, because if Denmark do go a goal up against a big team, they may switch to a back 5 for defensive rigidity while still maintaining attacking intent down the sides through Mæhle. In terms of structure, this team does become asymmetric when in possession. Mæhle will always want to attack down that left-hand side and will not only find himself in the final third repeatedly, but will also be a threat in the box when Denmark are in full attacking flow. With Mæhle holding width on the left, it allows Damsgaard to drift inside onto his right foot and open the pitch up for himself, and this gives Denmark a threat in the left half space. Skov Olsen, who we spoke about earlier, on the other hand, won't do this. Olsen is a direct winger that looks to get to the byline as much as possible, and we can see here in his most recent heat map that his main duty is to hold width and beat the fullback before attempting to cut the ball back. His width is important as it creates gaps for Eriksen to drift into. The space Eriksen gets through Olsen's movement is one of the key aspects in Denmark's tactical approach. We can see in Eriksen's heat map from the same game how he makes full use of this space, and he receives the ball in difficult to mark areas. This is very similar to what De Bruyne does for City. Picking up these spaces gives Eriksen a platform to provide in-swinging crosses from awkward angles for opposition to defend. In this game against France, Eriksen made 8 key passes. 8! as against France, as well as 8 successful crosses, which demonstrates how important he is as a creator, but also how effective this tactic is. While still looking at his heat map, it's also possible to see that he still offers a defensive contribution in his own half. The Denmark midfield often stay close together when out of position, and they make it really tough for the opposition to progress the ball vertically in central areas. The average positions gives us an insight into how they pack the midfield, but always maintain an outball through Skov Olsen. That man again. The relationship of Mæhle and Damsgaard is also on show here, and how their combination work down the left maintains that width. These graphics are all from their most recent match. This is important because it not only shows us the most recent representation of their approach, but France are also in Denmark's group. This match also has big significance because Denmark knocked France out of their Nations League group because of this win, and also did the double on France in the competition. This makes their game against France a super tasty affair. Yum 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 yum. So let's talk about those key players. Christian Eriksen. Eriksen is Denmark. Their tactics more or less revolve around him and the unique skills he possesses. He unlocks this Denmark team. It's so rare for a player to have the creative skill set that he has, whilst also being disciplined enough to come back in defence and form the 3-man midfield that is crucial for Denmark when out of possession. He's also in excellent form for Manchester United. Everything I'm saying here is something that you could apply to his form at Man United. He's just such a smart footballer, and he's doing brilliantly for Man United at present, which is something worth remembering in the lead up to a competition. That man again, Andreas Skov Olsen, is also key. He is one of the best players in Europe, currently operating outside of the top 5 leagues in my book. Standing at 6'2" and with lightning pace, he dominates fullbacks. Despite often heading to the byline to provide cutbacks, he's actually left-footed, and given the opportunity, he will come back inside and shoot. He'll come back inside and he'll shoot and probably score. He also has 6 league goals so far for Club Brugge and has been a big part of their success in the Champions League this season. My favourite thing about him is that he doesn't need a lot of touches to be effective. Within 3 or 4 touches, he attempts to make something happen, and this persistent directness can be tiring for defenders. It's also something that defenders aren't really used to in the modern game. We haven't really spoken about the defenders, so let's talk about the centre-backs. Andreas Christensen and Joachim Andersen look set to be the preferred partnership for Denmark at the minute, with cult hero Simon Kjær the first reserve. Both Christensen and Andersen are excellent in possession, which gives Denmark a platform to slow the game down at their will and play slower football out from the back if they need to. And Andersen's passing range, as we've spoken about previously on this channel, is something that will no doubt be utilised. In qualifying, he was averaging 5.5 long passes per 90 with a success rate of 67%. This switching of the play and ability to feed it in behind Skov Olsen will be a secret weapon for Denmark, although it was a secret, but now I've told you guys, so you know. So I guess you could share it and tell them as well if you wanted to by just taking the link and sharing it. I don't know. In summary, Denmark have all the tools to do well this winter. A solid structured team, in and out of possession whilst still being prominent in their attack. It seems like a formula to punish teams. They are, in my opinion, favourites to top the group, despite France being most people's favourites for the whole competition. And despite being a relatively small nation in terms of population, they do in fact have squad depth, and this may be very useful for them in extra time scenarios. Jesper Lindstrøm is someone they may look to from the bench. The winger is having an excellent season in the Bundesliga this season, scoring 5 goals from 10 starts. As I said at the start of the video, there's so many lovely ingredients here for Denmark. They have experience, but they have hunger. They're going under the radar. They have a real set way of playing. It's a good age group as well. So many positives. I really do expect them to be the team that everyone's talking about in this tournament, and this tournament will kind of be known for them in terms of play on the pitch. I expect Eriksen to have a huge tournament, and as a team for them to really excite us. So watch out for Denmark. If you've enjoyed this video, please do consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you do not miss a single episode. And of course, go and enjoy all the other episodes of our World Cup preview series. See you next time.